Hello, bookworms, film buffs, and other people of the internet. Welcome back to our channel. If you love books, if you love movies, if you love series, and if you love long format YouTube videos, then you've come to the right place. Here at Bookmarks and Blockbusters, we like to talk about anything and everything because we're opinionated young ladies with a lot to say. We're on a mission to find content Petra doesn't hate,
Introduce Stella to great literature and cinema,
and have some fun in between. We have a guest. Hello!
Hello.
Introduce yourself, Georgi.
My name is Georgi, and you invited me. I'm one opinionated guy,
If we don't make sense, and if you believe in zodiac signs or whatever, we're all Libras in the room. We're a mess.
We do understand each other, but the other people find hard to understand us sometimes, so...
It's fine. This episode could be the fun in between. We don't need to make sense of those.
This is gonna be 2-hour roles.
Yes.
Let's be real.
Today on the show, we're doing Percy Jackson. What does that mean? We're gonna talk about the movie, maybe. Second one, very questionable. If we get there, we get there. If we don't, I don't mind it. And probably the books. Now, I'm coming in with the zero credentials. I've just seen the movies.
Fake fan.
Fake.
Completely. Why am I even doing
You're
here?
only
I don't
doing
know.
it for the casting. We know that.
You are sim.
You are sim.
Yes, but also I have things to say. It's fine. It's not the same as I watched it when I was 14. Okay, so those are my credentials, but I have more accredited people with me in the room. Please, people, how did you get into the Percy Jackson franchise, Petra?
Oh, I think I was 12, maybe 13. Around the time, I just saw like nice covers in the bookstore. And I was at that age when I bought every single fantasy series, no matter how shitty it was. I just saw it. I was like, Mom, buy it for me, please. And she bought me the first book, and I read it in one day. I was so obsessed.
Oh, love that!
Yeah,
Love
and
that.
then she got me like the next 3 books, and I had to wait for the last one. But I was so impatient that that was the first book I read in English. I just found like a copy online. I just read the whole thing in like one day as well, because like that was the final book, and man, like it's so intense and it's so good. Like everything's like foreshadow with like great story building and everything. For me, it's better than Harry Potter. It comes to like, books for kids.
Just wanted to ask that, did it overlap with Harry Potter?
I was done with Harry Potter by the time, because the last movie came out like 2011, so I was looking for a new obsession, I think.
Oh, okay.
And this was nice. I mean, you have a young protagonist, black hair, green eyes, I was like,
Hero's
okay, let's
journey.
go.
It's fun.
Let's go. Plus, I love Greek mythology, because of my mom, so I was like, okay, just give me all. So yeah. And then the movies came out, and I was like, well,
Oof.
it has nothing to do with the books, but yeah.
We will see in a sec. Georgi, how did you come?
Yeah, well, for me, I got into the series in a similar age. But the reason I started reading it was kind of like the first big book that I've read on my own, because my parents were just trying to force me at that age to read, and I just wanted to go out and play with my friends and stuff, so I didn't care about any of this. But they bought me the book, I think, for a birthday or something. And I read the first one. I just fell in love with the story and the storytelling in the book and the character development that it had. And at the time, I just found it very easy to really imagine what was described in the book and how things were.
Percy is a great character to follow, like his imagination and everything.
The narration in the book is also I
It's
love
so
it.
funny. Like
I've heard, of course I have no experience with the books, but I've heard from the little research I had to do for the episode. I heard the author has a great way of describing things, like you can actually imagine what's on paper. I'm talking about the battles or the climaxes.
yeah,
of
the first,
certain things.
especially the first series, like it's so good.
The first series is great, I think.
The Percy Jackson, because the second one is what, Heroes of Olympus or something?
Yeah, Heroes of Olympus, and that's where they interfere with
yeah.
all the clans, the Roman gods and the Greek gods. But one of the reasons I think that makes a major difference between the two series is that in the narration in the first two books is from the point of the narrator.
Yeah.
So you have an overview of all the characters and what's happening.
So it's third person.
Exactly.
He's omniscient. He knows what's happening.
Where in the second series, it's from a point of view of a character, and that changes very much. The whole storytelling is changed very much.
Of course, it's a different experience.
That's why I think the books were amazing when I read them.
Now, the way that the discussion is gonna go, obviously, because we have 2 book readers and 1 movie watcher, is I think we're gonna get to discuss about all of these amazing things, character arcs, storytelling. I think by comparison, the best way to go. So here we go. Who is Percy Jackson? I'm gonna read to you. I feel like the Wikipedia summary of the first movie is so hilarious. I'm just gonna read it out. It's incredibly stupid. So, Percy Jackson, who has dyslexia, is surprised to discover that he is a demigod. When he is accused of stealing Zeus's lightning bolt, he sets off to find it and settle a fight between the gods.
But this
That's how they mentioned that he has dyslexia.
Dyslexia. Percy Jackson, who has dyslexia. That's literally the first.
He also has what's the name?
ADHD.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about
But
that.
the whole point of him having dyslexia, I mean, I think this is a little bit misleading because the point of him being dyslexic is that he's not actually dyslexic. It's just because he can read in the language of the gods, basically.
Yeah. So let's go into the movie. Now, I'm not gonna do the mistake or. Mistake. We did a movie breakdown with the Hunger Games one, but it's not gonna be that detailed, people. I'm gonna try to keep it short this time.
I don't want to talk about every single
We
scene.
know he has dyslexia from the literal first couple of scenes. Like, I don't know, first scene is Zeus and Poseidon just fucking out of fucking nowhere. This guy walks out of water. And you're like, okay, that's cool. You can do that. Okay. Then he meets with another... Sean Bean, Ned Stark. He meets with Ned Stark. And here I was misremembering this. I rewatched the first movie yesterday, thank God, because I thought Ned Stark was Poseidon in the movie. Oh, no. And there I was doing girl math. I was like, Ned Stark, okay, he is Percy's father. He's also a bastard, Percy Snow. That's how I got there. And then I rewatched it yesterday. I realized, okay, no, he is Ned Stark indeed, but he is not Percy's father. Owen from Grey's Anatomy is... Which is weird, you haven't seen Grey's Anatomy, but I have.
No, but the actor was in the role.
My Trauma
TV show.
Is
so
really?
I know him. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't dislike him, he's okay.
He just doesn't fit the character description.
I kind of agree. I saw him on screen and I was like,
he ginger?
Yes, he is. We get a ginger Poseidon, whatever. They have some beef, of course, because they are Greek gods. Zeus is like, someone stole the lightning bolt. Who did it? I think your son. You fucking ass bait. Poseidon is like, no, fuck you. And then Zeus explodes the door to get to Olympus. I felt like he was, like the drama queen he is. I just love that scene. I don't know if that's in the book. Does he explode the door to get to Mount Olympus? And I have another important question. Is Mount Olympus on top of the Empire State Building?
Yes. So the reason why it's on the top of the Empire State Building is because, like, especially in 2000, USA was like the center of the Western culture. And the gods are tied to it, like they are moving from like ancient Greece to ancient Rome, then probably they went to Paris, London, Germany or whatever throughout the history, now they are in USA. And in the books you can take the elevator and like, I don't know what's the number of the floor for Olympus anymore, but like when you are demigod you can see it and you can press the button and just take the ride up. And I think they are playing very questionable music in the elevator from what I remember from the books. Like some 70s
thing
shit.
in the movie.
Now they just skipped all the fun parts, obviously.
Which is funny you say, because we're gonna get into I'm gonna have an interesting segment for both of you.
Okay.
But we meet Percy Jackson in the movie. He's just underwater, which is, fair because he is Poseidon's son. But he gets out of the water and then he's like, his friend is like, 7 minutes. I'm like, you are clearly not human.
He's from H2O.
Where is his tail? The missed opportunities in this movie.
No, like the problem is that when you read the book, like you don't know who are his parents until like certain point. Like that's the whole mystery in the beginning.
That
like
would
who could be his dad?
I would say
in the movie you are just spoiled like immediately.
I mean, yeah, you see that scene
Like
and
they're
there is
discussing it
like
with the
But-
girls.
7 minutes. I'm like, that's not who.
Yeah, but
what?
of course you have that in the movie because, of course, you're supposed to put
It's a
a
little
whole
clue.
book into an hour. No, I think the first one is 2 hours, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
Hour
but they
and 2
added so
minutes,
much
15 minutes.
Yeah, it's
stuff on their own that like
Yeah, they cut out. They've cut out a lot of things that kind of tie the story together.
As we go through this movie and book plot, at least the first movie, I've just as a moviegoer, I try to subtract myself from like the hype I had when I was 14 about it or whatever, and I tried to watch it as a movie. It has very weird pacing. Everything is so freaking fast. Zeus and Poseidon, that whole fucking spiel on top of the Empire State Building is that unless Poseidon gives back the bolt in 14 days, it's like total war, bam. But like these 14 days in the movie, it's incredibly baffling. I tracked down the timeline as I was making notes. It's so incredibly fast. I was like, how is this 14 days? What
Yeah.
is happening? And there's the whole Vegas casino we're gonna go to, but like, come on. How long is the book actually?
The book, I think, is, if I'm not mistaken, about 200, 300 pages.
Okay,
Something
okay.
like this.
Alright.
So
But it's very easy to read.
You can do a good job with 2 hours with a 200-page book. I don't understand what's happening.
You know what's interesting? Like the first movie is made by Chris Columbus, the guy who made first 2 Harry Potter movies.
At Home Alone.
Yeah, but no, that doesn't matter. The Harry Potter movies, they're adaptation.
Oh.
And it's like these 2 movies are like famous for like adapting every single page of Harry Potter. Because I think they have the same screenwriter for all 8 movies, so it's above the director. He was like adapting everything, and then he gets the Percy Jackson books, and he is like, nah, we are just gonna do like from the Wikipedia summary, we are gonna get it in the movie. And
That's how it felt, honestly. We just jumped from thing to thing on their quest, and I was completely like confused, baffled. Yeah.
the
That's
thing
the word
that
for it.
also I feel the movie gets wrong from the books, and I just want to say a disclaimer. I read the books a long time ago, and my memory of them, is not that good. And I recently watched the movies, so I don't think that the representation of the way they become friends and the way they connect is very well made, because
All
with the
the
books
kids?
you have 5 books
Yeah.
where their relationship develops, where in the first movie they're already best friends.
Yeah, I actually
And
have a point
that
about
kind
that
of
later.
ruins, I feel like, the idea of what the journey was about.
Yeah, also because they're older than.
I know
Yeah.
it sounds cringe, but it's the character development and
I
how the
agree.
people
I
change.
didn't get the friendship in the movie.
Yeah, also like when in the book they are like 12, 13 at the start, and like in the movie they are teenagers, and also like from the first scene you have like the tension between Percy and Annabelle, and then you are like obviously they're gonna end up together, while in the books like they start at 30, and they like you see them becoming friends, and then like slowly developing like crush on each other and stuff. So it's very well done, I would say, like better than like Harry Potter books when it comes to relationships.
Okay.
And then like also like
In the movie, I feel like that did not translate at all. I have
yeah.
huge issues with how they meet and everything. But let's get back on track with the movie. Percy can't read is the next big scene. Like, he's just in class. This bitch teacher, she's like, read this. And here I was like, I know, the only thing I remembered is that he's basically a merman who has dyslexia. And I was like, doesn't the school know? And then he can't read. Of course, this teacher is like snarky about it, whatever. He goes home, complains to his mom about the reading shit, and then he says, I have dyslexia, and on top of that I have ADHD. And I'm over here like, does school not know? What is wrong with this kid and his family? What the fuck? Like, I feel like school should have known. Is that teacher thing a big thing in the book? This dyslexia. I mean, I know it's a point because he can read Greek, but
I mean, I think like he
Did
could,
they pull
but, like
that?
they were in a shitty school, and like come on, let's be real. How often does school actually care about your needs, especially when you go like the private
that's
ones and
fair.
stuff? And I don't.
That's fair. I'm sorry. U.S. public schools are
Yeah.
underfunded.
Yeah,
No one cares about
yeah.
the dyslexic ADHD kid. I'm sorry. I just got my reality check. It's fine. Let's move on.
Also, I think the teacher is like a monster, so I think she was doing it on purpose.
In a way.
Oh
too,
yes,
yeah.
yes,
So-
yes.
That's it.
We get home, he has a weird family life. You get his mom is fine, but there's this like
Stepfather.
stinky ass man whose name is, wait for
Gabe.
it, Gabe, but his last name is Gabe Agliano.
Yes.
Agliano. I died when I saw at some point he's on the news and it just says his name, Gabe Agliano. I was like, makes complete sense.
That's what he deserves.
Basically, his mom, you get that it's a horrible relationship. He has like this comment in the movie. Is he this awkward in the book? I feel like Logan Lerman is displaying Percy Jackson as this like prude, awkward boy.
No, he's not that. No.
And it's so stupid.
Like,
Because
that's
he
a-
makes a comment like, oh my god, in the kitchen, because the guy just like touches his mom like slightly. And I'm like, Percy, what's wrong? I know you cannot stand this man, but also what the
No,
fuck?
like that dude is absolutely fucking disgusting in the books. Also,
Yes.
Percy is 12, so like if he would touch his mom in the book, he would become, like very, rape-ish, to be honest, because he's that disgusting.
I mean, I got the
If I
ick in the
was-
movie. It's just that Percy.
No, he's this
I
fun
don't
dude, and he's not awkward at all. Like he's like the fun dude at the party, but he's also like very like dangerous at the same time when you look like outside of his point of view. Like he's fun guy.
Yeah, in the
The
movie.
same with Harry Potter, they just when they adopt these main characters, they just make them awkward as fuck and delete like all the sarcastic comments they have in the books.
Logan Lerman, his look also in the movie, in the first movie, he just looks like the classic emo kid. With nothing wrong with that. Sometimes, he's stylish and all, but I just feel like he's so misrepresented in a way. It's like he has multiple personalities. I don't know what to say about this guy. One moment he's cool, then the other one he's awkward as fuck and rolling his eyes and being like, oh my god, I don't even want to be here. I'm like, what's wrong with you, Percy? And I know that's the experience of being a twin, because that's what he is in the book, and also a teen in the movie, whatever. But I just feel like Logan Lerman was put on a very questionable Percy Jackson. I don't know, and I like it.
I mean, the thing is, like, they didn't read the books, like, they didn't care, so, like, how can you be a character if you just don't give a shit about source material?
Yeah,
I know, but
if
the
he was
script
just
will-
given the script and what he was told to do, then you can't really blame the actor for
Once
falling if he
again,
hasn't gone into it.
maybe we can blame the direction, going
Yeah.
back to Chris Columbus. Like, yeah. Anyway, next thing, he's in a museum. The field trip, I actually paid attention. It was written on the blackboard in the classroom. Whatever he couldn't read from
Yeah.
Othello, the next thing on the blackboard was the field trip. I'm like, very nice. Good production design, I guess. But they go to the museum. This tour guide is fucking clairvoyant, because he starts just like out of fucking nowhere. They talk about Greek gods, and then he's like, Percy, you have the name of a demigod. Wink, wink. They become great heroes, and I'm like, dude, you have some very clear vision. What the fuck? But next up, this teacher just grabs Percy's like, come over here. She looks so awkward. Great casting on that part, actually. I like the teacher. It makes very much sense. But like, she just grabs him, and I'm like, Percy, you're about to be assaulted. Where are you going with this woman? It gave me the ick more than the Percy Agliano scene. I was like, don't go with that teacher, you are in danger. And he is, because she's a monster. But that monster thing just happens, and the tour guide and his fucking crippled best friend just come in, and I feel like Percy Jackson should have been a comedy. Because that whole scene, but they're just ignoring him, is like, I'm your protector! And he's like, what? What is happening?
Is this when he gets the pen?
Yes, the pen. I died. There are some genuinely funny things in this movie. I just feel like the movie didn't know its identity. Here is my segment. Percy Jackson should have been a comedy. This is the perfect time to get into it.
Yeah, the movie, yes, but just having known the story and how dramatic things get as it progresses.
Given that it's basically almost nothing like the books, as we're gonna see.
It
as
should be
we go
lighthearted, because you have like these protagonists, and they're like very nice characters to follow around,
The tone
and they're
is
like
very
forming
good.
friendships, so like it could be funny, but also dramatic at the same time. If you know
The-
how have to, if you care for the book and just adapt it properly, it should be easy job.
The tone and the pace. Well, here we go with my problems, and I'm just a movie watcher. The tone and the pacing are weird. sometimes you have this extremely funny shit that sometimes hits, and then the rest of the movie is like, they are trying to do hero's journey, they are trying to do friendship, they are trying to do so many things, and then just some of the humor lands. It's fine. The Who Found Me, it's giving, there's no time for any of this.
There's no time for any of this. What?
The Jon Snow thing. Yeah. It's just, it has the same energy. There's no time for any of this. Let's go on. This is a pen. That also killed me. This is a pen. I mean, yeah, this scene alone might have convinced me that maybe Logan Lerman would have been an okay Percy. Yes. They go back home. I wrote down, Mom is just prepared to leave in a second. It takes 30 seconds. They walk in, they're like, we gotta go. She's like, okay, bye. Gabe, I don't fucking care. Let's jump in my Camaro SS from 1968. Now, time for my rabbit hole. I was watching this with my boyfriend. Shout out to Andre. He realized that car it's a pretty nice car.
Yeah.
We looked up the price. Mama Jackson is doing very well for a single mother. They are going, I don't know what price they were going at in 2010.
No, you missed the point, guys. Obviously, Poseidon is sending like the child support money, you know?
Yeah, it's a god. She's getting god money.
The Camaro is child support.
Yes, from a god.
I mean, it makes sense now. Okay, Papa Jackson? Papa Poseidon.
Poseidon.
Papa Poseidon Jackson is the official legal name of Poseidon, yes. So he did very well because this car goes somewhere between 50,000 euros to 100,000 euros. I don't know how much it was in 2010, but goddamn, you go, mama, and I guess you go, papa. Pay that alimony. Earn that cash, what can I say? But I mean, see, pre-Poseidon reveal that he paid his child support. I just wrote down the only logical explanation is that she's a drug dealer. This woman sells her child's Adderall illegally. That's I rest my case. That's my rabbit hole. I think she provides for the family. Although I like the child support explanation.
In the book, I have the memory that wasn't she a nurse? That's what I remember from the book.
At some point maybe, because I think she like at first when she was dating this guy, she was just doing all the possible jobs to get the money. But then, because like she's like a mother, but like we also follow like her little side story in the books, you know, because she's the one that stays.
Oh, I would have loved that. She's
alive, you know.
She's
she
such a minor character in the film. We get the mom, I'm a kid with dyslexia and ADHD scene, and then we just go in her car. And she gets kidnapped.
No, she's very cool in the book, so then it's like...
She's on screen for maybe 10 minutes.
They were doing like very typical fantasy movie, you know, they were like, oh mother, okay, let's get her killed, you know, and she's gonna be there just to have typical parent-child scenes, and that's it.
So, basically people, they just go, they hop in the Camaro, they go, and she's like, we're going to a camp for very special people. I laughed out loud audibly. I was like, I'm a bad person, I'm going to hell for laughing at this. I don't know what to tell you. I was just like, this movie is a comedy, people.
I think in the book there's like half a year between the scene in the museum and them like going to the camp.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
people, I was counting the fucking days. So they are driving to the camp, they get attacked by whatever mythological monster. What is it, guys?
The one...
Do you even remember?
The Minotaur?
Yeah, is it the Minotaur?
It's supposed to be in the book. I don't know what is in the movie.
That was second monster. Monster.
That's what I'm saying, second monster is the Minotaur.
Maybe it looked so bad she couldn't recognize it. Cause
I just wrote down second monster, not okay. My notes make sense. Here we are.
Yeah.
I will say I think they did that crash. It looked very real. I don't think it was CG. I feel like it was practical. The Camaro getting destroyed, it was painful to watch, but the Camaro looked okay. The monster, no.
In the book, the Minotaur is way bigger than he's in the movie. It's described, it's portrayed as this huge monstrosity that just...
Also, Percy doesn't know what's happening. It's like written so well because you feel like the horror in a way. Because like if there's something in the rain, his mom knows what's happening. Grover knows what's happening. He doesn't know. He's like, oh, maybe I don't know, assassin is going after them, but he doesn't know it's a monster.
Oh, I will say the car accident was a fucking jump scare for me. I don't know if it comes out of fucking nowhere in the book or no, but it was a freaking
I
giant
don't know if
scare.
they crashed or something.
It was out of nowhere. They just get Grover goes, "It's raining cows." I was like, okay, comedy proof number 5, I guess.
Yeah,
How does he? How do we know he is a? What is it? Grover, what is it?
The car.
A faun, I think
Yeah,
it's called.
He's a satyr.
The same thing, but
Satyr,
like
yeah,
it's like the
faun.
Roman
Satyr,
version of
Faun's
it.
the
satyr.
Roman, just
Yeah,
satyr.
but I mean, they found out when the car like rolls over and shit, and then Percy goes, "You're half donkey." Comedy proof number 6. And I just wrote down this movie is so goofy.
The thing in the book, like the book has like funny titles for the chapter. I think one of them is called like Grover loses his pants or something like that.
Yes. The comedy, I think it's also very different when you watch it in the movie. You see the interpretation of the actors, right, and whoever wrote the script.
Mm-hmm.
But in the book, when you read it by yourself, you set your own tone when you read through the pages, and you also develop, regardless of the picture that the author is trying to paint, you still kind of develop your own understanding of how the characters act, because you reflect what you read through your own prism and how
And
you
that's
see the
so
characters.
beautiful, people. This is why we like doing our podcasts and our little YouTube videos now. It's so beautiful to see how many interpretations of something are out there, and how through our personal experiences, how we interpret things we see on screen or on page and stuff. And here we have Georgi sharing his opinion with us also.
A wisdom for a day.
Maybe more in the future,
Yes.
if we didn't scare him shitless.
Not at all.
Let's just go on. After the car crash, they end up being chased through the woods. Thank God they are so close to the camp, because they run for like 30 seconds. Bam, we're at the camp entrance. His mom cannot go through the barrier.
She dies for plot reasons.
That's
So at this point, people, she dies, okay? She gets poof, dissolves in the air in the claw of this minotaur, right?
Yeah.
Percy goes on and goes into Camp Half-Blood.
He doesn't kill him.
No. What? Oh, yes, he does. He does. He kills him. He rips a horn somehow. And we skipped over this before, but another hilarious scene. Percy, when he gets to Camp Half-Blood's entrance, he can read the Greek. We find that out in the museum, but I just love the explanation that we get in the camp. It's like, why can't I suddenly read ancient Greek? And Grover goes like, your brain is just wired like that. And I'm like, okay, so Greek people cannot have dyslexia. Because if their brain is wired for Greek, that fixes dyslexia, right? It just,
Make it make sense.
Yeah. Maybe Greek people with dyslexia just have their brains wired for English. Who knows?
I think the whole concept of him actually, even in the books, just having a dyslexia and connecting it to Greek language, maybe it's not such a good bridge between the two.
Maybe no.
Because if you get into linguistics, it really doesn't make sense.
I think the only reason why he did it is because his son
Had dyslexia.
Yeah,
yes.
so he wanted to
Oh,
like the
that
right
is
person.
kinda
Yeah.
cute. Okay. Yeah. So Camp Half-Blood, he just goes there. Mind you, his mom just died. Spoiler alert, his mom isn't dead, but I'm like, first thing this man saw, gets to the camp, cannot cross, fails to save his mom goes poof. She's dead, 100%, and he just goes on with his life. This camp is cool, let's tour it. And I'm like, your mom died, can you process anything? I don't know, do you have emotions? Percy is weird. I have nothing more to say. I was
This is
completely
like
shocked.
Princess Leia in Star Wars, the original trilogy, when her planet gets destroyed, like no time to react, nothing.
Yeah, she just gets sad for one scene, like literally just one scene, and then next one she's fine. Like, I'm okay.
Like, once again, Percy is pretty okay for someone who thinks
This
their
is the
mom
problem,
died.
because like in the book, it's like his biggest motivation to do anything. He wants to save his mom.
Oh, here we go, please. Is the relationship in the book much more meaningful? I feel like the obvious answer is yes.
To whom?
To Percy and his mom.
I mean, obviously, yeah. I mean, they were only two of them for a long time. Then they had to, take in this abusive man.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously the mom cares for him, because that's like the reason why she took the disgusting guy as a you know.
Oh, yeah.
They're married, I don't know if they're
I
dating.
love the
It's because of his
explanation.
disgusting smell and because it could protect Percy. So she went to a grand line to protect him, and of course he loves his mom, and they're like his only parent, you know.
Along with the brain wired for Greek, and this man is so stinky he covers up your demigod stench.
Yeah.
I like these two things. I
Take
was
a
just
shower.
like,
Take a shower.
Anyway, this happens during the night. It's the next day he tours the camp with Grover again. I just have a question. Grover is giving, in the movie with the miscasting and all that, an age inappropriate casting. I cannot understand how old Grover is. He just mentions he's a junior protector, like he doesn't have his horns. But is he supposed to be the same age as Percy and everyone else?
I think they're kind of, you know, like, because he's a mythical creature, because he may be, like, let's say 28 of, like, human age, but that means, like, maybe he's, like, 12, you know, it's like the, you know, dog years and stuff.
Oh,
you know?
okay, alright.
But yeah, in the books, like, they are the same age, they're in the same class.
So mentally they should be at the same level, right?
Yes.
Because Grover in the movie comes off as a bit older. It's
like that inappropriate friend you have who's telling dirty jokes.
Yes. It just
like
feels...
when you are in the high school and you have a friend who's in the college.
Exactly. That's exactly what Grover feels like.
And also it's so funny because he's the awkward one in the books.
Yes.
And Percy is the funny one, so they switch the personalities.
Why
Yes.
would you do that?
Now look at seriously,
now
look at
Percy-
this movie and look at Harry Potter. You have the awkward main guy. You have the smart chick, Hermione and Annabeth, and then you have funny dude who has like zero personality otherwise. Ron and Grover. In the movies. That's how it is.
Oh my god.
And the same dude did this ball series.
Yes, something clicked in my brain. I think Chris Columbus wrecked Percy Jackson.
Like, I think I remember reading reviews when this movie came out and they were calling it Harry Potter for poor people.
Anyway, he just sees Annabeth and of course instantly falls in love.
Yeah, I think what the misconception here that you have in the movie is that in the book she's portrayed more of as like a very strong, independent girl, because they're like all the simulation. For her age, she's very strong and very independent.
But there's a reason for it, because like when she had to escape from home when she was like 7.
Yes, she's
we
had a
don't
tough
get any
life.
of
Yeah,
that.
she's had a tough life. Where in the movie they more present her as just being cocky.
Just adopt one page from the book, you know, like when he meets her, you know, she explains the thing about demigods and their parents, and he asks, okay, so who's your mom or dad? There's the thing, like all the characters from the main trio, they are missing their motivation.
Yes.
They go on to play capture the flag. Of course, Percy is like, oh my god, what is happening? He's scared shitless. Everybody's telling him to get a helmet. He doesn't have a helmet. Then he has one. Then he doesn't. Eventually he sees the flag of the other team. Of course, Annabeth is on the other team.
They were on the same team in the book, just fun
Yes.
fact.
Oh, that's a completely different scene.
No, they needed to, you know, make them like enemies to lovers, you know.
I hate why. This movie is breaking
Plot.
my brain. Plot.
Yeah.
Plot. They have to make it interesting because they have to make.
They have to tell a streamlined story.
Yes.
And I understand, but I don't think.
But they don't have to go for the biggest cliches ever.
The whole point is that in the book they don't interact with each other in that way because they're kids.
Yeah.
They don't have these feelings for each other. If I'm not mistaken, by the end of the 5th book, they're already 17, 18 years old, right?
Yeah. I think
You
so,
know
yeah.
what? We were just talking about Harry Potter earlier. I want to make a parallel. Should have Percy, Annabeth be more Hermione, Ron?
No.
So it's not that feeling in the book.
No, it's completely different. Like the characters are different. And like
What do they bond over? In the
Who?
movie, they never. Annabeth and Percy. In the movie they never bond over anything.
I mean, they have like 5 years of adventures, you know, saving each other from the like, monsters
Okay.
and stuff. Like they have strong friendship.
In the movie, they just make heart eyes at each other, and I'm like, it makes no fucking sense. Why do you even like her?
Because he grows to like her based on the things that happened to them and the way they helped each other.
Oh, that's lovely.
And because of the stuff that they
that
went
makes
through
sense.
that
They
year.
They start
development.
like disliking each other. There are things they don't like about each other, you know, because like she's like kind of, you know.
She's
stoic.
very cold. She's
Yeah.
also very cold as a person in the book.
Yeah.
She's also portrayed as a cold person. The way they say, for example, she has gray eyes. You know, very lifeless eyes.
Yeah.
That she has in the
But I
book.
remember it's in the second book actually. It was a very nice moment because because I don't know, they fight some monster and Percy sees her weakness or something, and they have like deep conversation about how she feels, like the pressure of like being daughter of Athena, you know, and living up to expectations, you know, and how what she like fears, you know, and stuff. And that was like very nice bonding moment for both the characters.
I would have
And
loved
like
that
their
in the
character
movie.
flaws, and like it was so nice, but like of course like
Just like
They
so
don't
many
do
other
that.
things I've already mentioned, this relationship also struck me like it came out of nowhere. Came out of left field, and I was just like, okay, this is happening, I guess.
because
I didn't feel their chemistry even.
I think
thought
they like develop like more like deeper feelings in like maybe third or fourth book, but it's still like on a crush level.
When they grow up more.
Yeah, it's
Because-
like when you have a classmate that says some 1 year you're like, oh, he looks disgusting. The next year, like he's
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
handsome, you know.
Of course, Percy is fucking. All of a sudden, by the way, because we're talking about their introduction scene and the capture the flag. All of a sudden, he's like just awesome at combat and at running around and doing stuff.
Yeah, I had to speed up the montage in a camp when he learns how to do stuff, because he comes there, he's put in one of the
Okay.
cabins.
Is it
And
sort
then-
of like it's in his blood? In the book? Is it
Some
just like-
elements, but also like he's natural with something because of his father. What is he fighting? Oh, he has the sword, right?
Yeah, the sword, but like also his ability, for example, to control water, right? He's always had
Oh
this,
yeah.
but
But
he
he
just
also-
never unlocked it as an ability.
So-
But he also sucked with archery or some other stuff. He needs
Oh.
to learn. Also, like he's not that good. He needs to learn over the years how to become a better fighter.
Oh, in the movie he's instantly good at everything and it's so annoying.
Yeah.
He does one capture the flag and then discovers water can heal him because his father speaks to him. Like because Annabeth kicks his ass, lands a bunch of cuts on him with the sword. And I'm like, ouch! Okay, this is some real combat. And here I was thinking, are they immortal? But
No.
then I mean,
No.
of course, they are demigods. It doesn't make you immune. But then Percy reached for the water. And the only, once again, another only logical explanation here, with no other context,
in the books,
is that
he gets
Percy
the
can be...
Achilles curse. You know, when they cannot defeat besides that one spot. But like
Okay.
it was handled well because you have this one spot and you are kind of, you know, like immortal. But then he gets so paranoid because of that one spot, because anyone can stab him and he's dead. Like doesn't matter if it's ocean anywhere, you know, he's dead.
Okay, because here I was thinking it was just a fun thought experiment. My mind just went there. I was like, is he just immune to anything and everything underwater?
Also-
Percy just move underwater. Fight underwater? Do mermaid shit. Here I am.
I think in the movie they kind of maybe have got carried away and put a little bit of like Aquaman vibe
yeah.
type stuff.
Percy unlocked instant healing. It's fine. They're gonna unlock fast travel soon. It is fine. And also unlock a mission. We're gonna see in 2 seconds. Percy, because of the healing, Percy instantly becomes cocky and just better than Annabeth at fighting. I was like, wow, water fixes everything.
Water is life.
How
girl.
does he go from I'm so awkward I can't even speak to Annabeth to I'm gonna beat this girl? It's fine. Why? How? I don't understand, but it's fine. They win, capture the flag. Who cares? They play one, capture the flag. Hey, the Hades thing happens. Out of nowhere, there's a campfire or something. Mind you, this is day, if we keep track of the timeline I was talking about, this is day 4 or 5 potentially, okay? If we keep count of the countdown that is going on, we have 10 more days and then it's total war between gods. No pressure at all, it's fine. We have time for everything, apparently. The Hades thing happens. There's a bonfire. This Hades looks okay. CGI on Hades. Aged... not fair.
I
More than
forgot
fairly.
about that, actually.
Aged well. It doesn't look that bad. He is awesome. I wish he stayed in that form. Because the Hades we meet looks like someone very specific. The moment I say it, you won't be able to unsee
Yeah.
it. You're gonna be thankful when we get there.
Okay.
Oh no.
However, this version of Hades looks badass. I was like, yes, baby. Yeah. God of hell. All the flames. Love it. It was kind of like in, I don't know if you saw that anime, Castlevania.
Yeah.
She watched one anime.
Not it didn't even finish it, people. I'm not here, but that reference is accurate. When at the end of the first episode, the Dracula just
Yes.
comes and he speaks to people through the flames.
Yes.
That's badass.
Yes,
It was
yes.
like that,
Yeah,
but like
yeah.
it was
Yeah.
very good CGI. He's like, yo, I got your mom. And Percy, mind you, didn't have time to have a reaction, but now it's fine, everything is fixed because his mom is alive.
He remembered he has mom somewhere.
He remembered at some point. He remembered he has a mom.
You know, he met a hot chick. So of course his brain couldn't focus
He
on his dead
forgot
mother.
all about it, yeah.
Yeah.
He forgot all about
He
it.
could
He moved
bone
on.
her,
He
come
moved
on.
on. He moved on.
People, mind you, it's been 4 days. 1 day in the camp, one captured the flag, one crush on Annabeth that came out of nowhere. And then everyone around him is like, yes, Percy, you gotta go be the hero. This is your quest. You are ready now. When beginning with tour of the camp, he's like, why don't we just go, I don't know, avenge my mom or something? And Grover says, you're not ready yet. He plays one capture the flag with this very intense chick, and then suddenly he's like ready to go on an adventure.
I have a question. Do people know who his father is at this point? Is he claimed?
That was also very weird in the movie
Because in the books
it's like,
that happens when during the capture the flag at the end.
I think that's how they figured it out, because there's no discussion like, yo, there's son of Poseidon over here walking into camp, but everybody seems to, yeah, I guess the actors were directed that way. Every extra feels like they know who Percy is. He's not just the weird new
The
dude.
boy who lived.
And the boy, he's the
See,
boy who
they're giving out that vibe, really.
Yeah.
They're giving out that vibe.
And it also, it's one of these elements that again feels rushed, because I'm like, why is everyone treating Percy so special? Do they know who he is?
The main character.
Everybody knew Percy is the main character. I'm sorry, yes. And all this time I thought Grover and Annabeth give main character energy in the movie more than Percy, but I'm mistaken. Indeed. I am sorry. Yes. So everybody's like, you gotta go, you are prepared now. And I'm like, well, clearly, yes. I have nothing to say. It's fine.
I wish in the movie they could have probably done, those montages usually have in action movies. Like, just include the time lapse of these months that he spends in the camp training.
I would have loved the training montage.
You can make a scene like that like under 10 minutes or something like that.
Demigod bootcamp.
2 minutes, you can do it in 2
Yeah.
minutes, like very
Yes.
fast one. The rest of the movie is shitty, you can have shitty montage, but at least it's gonna help the plot.
Exactly.
Give me the Demigod bootcamp cut.
It's like, I think it's like 2 weeks when he gets to the camp, he's unclaimed, then they have to capture the flag and he's claimed.
Girl, we have no time.
Yeah.
There's 10 more days.
Okay, shit.
There's no time for any of this. Well,
They meet, earlier they met Luke, son of Hermes. I just wrote down that it makes a lot of sense to me. I don't know why, the vibe was right, that he has all the technology in his little tent.
Yeah.
Yurt, whatever. I feel like it makes
They
so much
live
sense.
in the tents, that's so fucking
I just feel like that,
funny to me.
I mean, yeah, that's funny as fuck.
Everybody has their own tent.
I mean, Percy basically lives on a dock, and
Yeah.
everyone is like, your father built this for you, and I'm like, build what? The skeleton of a house? But then again, Percy is invulnerable underwater, so he can just go and live underwater. Under the sea.
Under the sea.
I swear to God, it's so confusing. But at least Luke has a PS, and by the looks of it, I think he was playing Counter-Strike. Very cool. I felt like the vibe was right for him being son of Hermes. Never met Hermes, but the vibes were right. Then he just says, we all have daddy issues, it's fine. And I'm over here, I'm sorry, huge Miss Mommy issues is right there.
Yeah.
Miss Daughter of Athena.
Oh, yeah.
But they are ready to go. He explains all this. They have this mission. It's pretty cool. I like the framing because it feels like, yeah, they are on a quest. Yes, it's like an adventure. It's a cute adventure.
But it's like no ceremony, nothing, because in the books you have to meet the oracle and something, to get the prophecy for the quest, like...
That's there?
Yeah.
That's so cool. There's a prophecy?
Yeah.
Yes.
Every
Give
time you
me
take
the
a
prophecy.
quest, yeah.
I'm so invested now. I might read these books. Give me the prophecy.
there's no time for any of this. Well,
Girl, they didn't have
But
time.
okay, so Percy is the chosen one in the book, and there is a prophecy about him defeating Hades or someone.
No, there's like every time Annabeth could take a quest, it's like you are the leader of the quest, you will get a prophecy about what's gonna happen.
Oh my
so
God,
it gets
this
like
is-
navigation.
Is this all the battle experience Annabeth talked about? Not talked about, because I'm like, okay, so they gather the
She should've
fucking
had-
gang, right? It's Percy, Grover, and Annabeth, but she just like joins out of nowhere. She just walks into frame and she's like, I'm coming. and here I am like, why is she coming?
In the book, like, she has the motivation that she's never been outside of the camp, so she wants to prove herself and she wants to like get out.
Oh my god, she just says, I have all the battle experience.
She has 0.
And you don't, I'm like, what battles?
She has 0 in the books. She wants to go out for a reason.
Then I was thinking...
Also, Grover is going there because he was supposed to protect Percy. He failed because his mom died and he's supposed to redeem himself.
Grover, I understand. That's completely fine. I'm your protector, I'm done.
No, but he has his own motivation. Like, he needs to redeem himself in the eyes of the other...
Okay. Okay, but the eyes of all the other satyr gang. Okay, very cool, very cool. But with Annabeth, I didn't understand what the fuck, and then she said, I have all the battle experience. I was like, you mean capture the flag? Okay, people. So canonically, right now, capture the flag means all the battle experience you need. But they go on the quest. They defeat Medusa eventually. It's a very fun
The only
chase.
thing I like about the movie is when Percy uses his phone to defeat her. That was very smart of them, actually.
That reflection thing, and also just such a 2000s thing. I think it's an iPod, actually.
Yeah, but like good for
With
him.
the
That's the
shiny
only
back.
time like I was like,
you
did something on your own and it's great.
He has some brains, yeah.
This was very Percy moment.
But
and they very even tried.
They defeat her, decapitate her, and then Annabeth again out of fucking nowhere. How does she even know? She's like, let's get it. It will work even if they are dead. The snakes and her, I guess, and Medusa. And I'm like, okay, Percy Jackson just canonically killed Medusa?
But in the book, I love this, I have to mention it. In the book, they kill her, and Percy sends the head of Medusa to the gods as big fuck you, Like, this 12-year-old boy has balls.
Oh,
this is the only scene I'm gonna watch from the TV show.
I like that.
And the rest of the kids was like, oh my god, Percy, you cannot do it to the gods. And he's like,
I don't care.
I love that. We fast forward, they have it's giving the same energy as Mount Olympus on top of the Empire State Building. And the effect, I had to Google this. I was not aware that this actually exists. I was like, is this just some book lore? I Googled it, it exists. And I'm like, this is the most American thing I've ever seen.
No, they went to different location in the book.
Yeah?
Yeah,
they just want to do this trip all over America in the movie. So in the book is not, we're doing a US tour.
Also, there's the thing, like, if you watch a movie, you can be like, why don't they just fly there? But in the book, it's like, oh, Zeus would strike the plane down because Percy is there.
But they don't have the pearls yet. All the pearls unlock fast travel, They only have one pearl now.
Jetpack.
Nashville, Tennessee, the building and all that, it's a museum. They need to sneak in at night. They hide in the toilets, and I was like, they don't clean this place? Literally next scene is the people are there cleaning. There's a bunch of janitors. Annabeth fucking shoots them with some poison darts, like tranquilizer. And I'm over here like, Annabeth, a dude fell off a ladder. He's a janitor. He doesn't have very good health care. You just, destroyed, Annabeth just destroyed someone's life.
Completely.
Those are working class Americans.
And then, but it's fine, people, because 20 seconds later, all these janitors are a hydra, which brings me to my next point. I just want hydra healthcare. Labor rights for the hydra. But please, unionize. Hydra should unionize.
Why they were in the museum in the first place? For the pearl?
For the pearl. The second pearl is on the crown on the Athena
statue.
Statue.
I forgot they made the whole movie out.
And here we go. Percy is instantly good at everything. What does he do? Puts the fucking flying shoes on. They call Luke, I think they FaceTime him or some shit. And then he's like, yes, Percy, put on the shoes I gave you. Bam, plot. He goes, they require some practice. It's kind of like when a jet wants to set off a runway, you gotta build the momentum. But it takes some practice. Bye. Percy literally takes off in 2 seconds. They're like, they tried to trick you that he failed. He didn't fucking fail. He successfully flies up to the statue, tumbles a little bit, climbs up the statue, gets the pearl. What is get some practice with them? Where is the practice? This guy is instantly good at everything. Amazing. Hero journey, here we are. Told by Hollywood. Why do they do this?
That's because of the skipped the timeline that he spends and he learns how to use everything.
By the way, this is day 6.
Does he even have Because I think the shoes came way later. They're not in the first book, are they?
No, they are, but at the end they don't use them because they don't do these side quests. You know, they meet Ares. He gives them the backpack. They go to the underworld, and like I think Rover is actually wearing them.
Wait,
And they're like that. They almost drag them into the pit with them.
Into hell, yeah, into the underworld when they take him. Yeah.
Oh no!
No, it was a tool used by Luke to fuck them up.
Yes.
Oh, the plot is completely different. I mean, we've seen.
Girl,
so
they
far.
get the pearls from Poseidon or like one of his like minions before they go to
Oh,
underworld.
in the movie, by the way, why has Percy grown up fatherless is because right after Percy and Annabeth and all these people in his generation were born, Zeus said, "No more contact with your kids. I'm an asshole and I'm gonna act like it."
No, I think it was like to like in general, like they are not supposed to like to be invested in them, you know, or something.
Oh,
but
the
also,
movie
like,
Annabeth gives this fucking exposition. She just vomits some exposition to us, and she's like, "Right after we were born, Zeus got mad at Poseidon and said, no more contact with the kids."
No,
But because
like,
before they were like,
they completely ignore the big prophecy and they try to make this, you know, as an excuse.
oh, please explain. I'm so not. I feel like this doesn't make any sense with the no contact. Why would it happen?
No, there was like I think there was like in general they shouldn't like you know take too much interest.
So that
in
was
the
just
humans,
a general
because it's like
rule.
like the you have the Troy war in Troy, you know, and like those
Yeah.
were taking sides. So it's like in general like you shouldn't interact too much with humans outside of the fucking, I suppose.
Oh,
Yeah. But also there was the whole thing like in the book, like the Second World War, like almost like all the historical figures were kids of the big three, you know, Zeus, Poseidon, Hades, and they made after the war they made a pact, you know, they were too powerful, so they cannot have kids. So Percy, being a child of Poseidon, also a big no because he broke the oath.
Let's go on a big history rabbit hole because I just thought about it. You know how basically everyone in World War I was related because of Queen Victoria?
Yeah,
So Queen Victoria was a demigod.
probably.
Is the only logical explanation.
I wouldn't be surprised, maybe.
Amazing.
Yeah, but you have this big prophecy, and I guess like in the movie they didn't want to do it.
I just did a quick Google search to find the curse and what, not the curse, the prophecy, I'm
prophecy,
sorry,
yeah,
what the
please.
prophecy is. A half-blood of the eldest gods shall reach 16 against all odds, and see the world in endless sleep, the hero's soul cursed blade shall reap.
Oh, I love prophecies.
Also,
Why
like they were
didn't
so
do
scared
it?
of this child of the prophecy because he could end the gods. So they did while they didn't trust
Zeus
him.
makes that ban because he doesn't want, he's afraid that one of the kids, and the idea is, the prophecy refers to the big three, like
Yeah.
Poseidon, Hades, and Zeus. And the whole plot also ties around the fact that Zeus, because everybody thinks Zeus doesn't have any kids, but he actually
Zeus,
does have
the
a kid.
biggest fucking
But
lover
he does
boy.
have a kid, and I mean later on she becomes a tree and all that.
Yeah.
But he does have a daughter, and
Even Hades has a kid, but they were
Yes.
like he puts them in the casino so they don't age and
they
nobody
live in
knows
the
about
casino. Nobody knows about them, and they actually were born during World War II.
them. So he didn't break the oath.
They lived-
technically. He
they-
just didn't kill them when he was supposed to.
Yes, he hid them. He was supposed to kill them, but he hid them, and they were twins, Nico and
Bianca.
Nico and Bianca. Yeah, and the character development also there is so crazy. That's why the series would make so much more sense when you include all these other characters, because yes, Percy, the series is called Percy Jackson and the Gods of Olympus, and yes, he is kind of the main character, but all
You
these
have other pieces
supporting,
of puzzle, right?
yes, all these other characters are as supporting characters make the main character make sense.
Yeah.
I know
I
that
agree.
probably sounded very
Yeah,
stupid,
Also,
but
Luca is like
no,
an
it
important
does.
character who needs his like journey. you know?
It completely makes sense. There is extreme value in supporting characters
yeah,
because they play a role in your hero's journey, in your character development, in your character arc. Like it, and here is where the movie fucking lacks. Like people around Percy are extremely undeveloped. What the fuck is Annabeth's deal? I'm wondering in the movie. Clearly in the book, it's an extremely different story.
It's gonna be important during like the final moment when
like,
the prophecy is resolved.
Everyone is very
Yeah.
frustrating in this movie. Hades, Poseidon, Zeus himself. itself, but Zeus is an asshole. I have a very bad opinion of Zeus, the god in general, in mythology. Like, this movie
He's kind of the biggest asshole in the books as well.
He's canonically an asshole. I don't care about his portrayal necessarily. Sean Bean is Ned Stark. He's
all the gods in the books are kind of, I would say, not so nice.
I mean, they are using their kids for their own needs.
Yes, basically.
Which tracks with metal. Thank you.
Yeah.
Gods, I can understand all that. Marvel right now is going into that direction of I want to kill God, and I kind of get it. All these characters in the comics that want to kill gods, I'm like, yes, warranted. Do it. Please. But they do that whole quest again. Hydra, healthcare, please. But they move on. The last pearl they need to get is we are finally at the casino place. At this point, it's like day 7, most probably, by my calculations. They reach Las Vegas, which, by the way, Nashville to Las Vegas is a 26-hour drive, and they are in this fucking falling apart pickup truck. And I'm like, how did they make that journey, and why didn't we have
power of friendship, girl?
Yeah,
power of friendship.
Power of friendship.
Power of fucking friendship.
They know each other for like 5 hours.
Amazing. Good. Lady Gaga plays, so at this point I checked myself out. I was like, yes, Casino Gaga, this is so 2010. Let's just fucking go. This movie is good. No, it tried to trick me a bunch of times, but in this whole discussion, I'm beginning to be even more frustrated. It's time for an intermission from Just Tell, because I have successfully omitted something yesterday that was pretty crucial to the episode and could have been a fun segment, but I guess you're just getting me talking about it, and with the moral support of my internet friends, I have some things to share with you. And I feel like this framing that I'm going to introduce in a second is going to make a lot of sense with the discussion I'm trying to get us into. So, why is this intermission happening, you might ask? Well, I felt like throughout this episode, I was coming across as very critical of the movie, which, that's what we're here to do, to have a critical stance on these movies, series, and books. However, I don't think we necessarily need to be so harsh about them. We can also, if we detach ourselves from everything the books are, the Percy Jackson movie, the first one, is not that bad. It's a completely fine movie on its own. It's a dumb, goofy adventure, and it's fine. Does it need compelling characters and complex character arcs? No. Would it be a better movie? Yes. Throughout this episode and finding out what the books had to offer, of course I became extremely frustrated with the movie I had just watched, and the movie to be clear, I loved when I was 14. Because it was a dumb adventure and I didn't need to look more into it. However, learning what was omitted frustrated me to the point where I come across as the fanatic book readers online who just love to hate on the franchise for the wildest reasons sometimes. I do agree with them on the second movie. It's a fever dream. I cannot make sense of it. It's far worse than the first one, but the first one on its own is pretty okay. And I've asked people, getting to that point that I completely forgot about during the recording. I asked people on my Instagram to share their opinions if they wanted to, and I've had a couple of people reach out whose opinions aligned with me as a moviegoer as well as with the book readers, and also a specific group of people who are just book readers and have had no contact with the movies whatsoever. So I just want to share some of these opinions with you to try to make you understand all the viewpoints that are out there. And did the movie take some wild liberties when adapting the source material? Yes, but Percy Jackson The Lightning Thief, like, it had an impact as a movie on its own. And I just want to read to you some of the thoughts that people have shared with me. For example, Illy, shout out to her, she mentioned something that I was trying to point at just now. She said, unpopular opinion, but the movies on their own are actually pretty good. The actors were amazing, just that the movies have almost nothing to do with what the books are about, to the point of which the movie is a thing of its own. Stefana was on the other end of this opinion spectrum. She just read the books, she loved them as a kid, and is excited about the Disney Plus series and how they are gonna adapt the book. And she said she just heard that the movies are not worth it at all, which, girl, yes, stay away. But here we have another view of someone who has only had contact with the books. And of course the books are good. And then Vasek, shout out to him, thank you for sharing your opinion with me, all of you actually. I reached out to him knowing that he's also a film buff and also chronically online, so he's very hyper aware, I would say, about everyone's opinions on things. He's also in the same boat as me, hasn't read the books, they are on his reading list, so I'm excited to hear what he thinks when he finishes those. But he mentioned that he quite likes the movies and he's aware of the criticism. Once again, some people, the book readers are so loud online that you cannot subtract yourself from you cannot be an impartial viewer anymore, because you know people hate the movies. However, he did say that he understands and he would be pretty pissed too if they excluded so much and took so many liberties, but he enjoyed the movie. Quote, I watched it in my early teens, so I kind of bought into it. When I watch it now, I feel nostalgic, but with less adoration. But Uma Thurman as Medusa and the iPhone reflection instead of a shield, that's a freaking gem. Once again, you can find things about this movie that you can love. And I hope that at least came across. Uma Thurman as Medusa, it aged well, it's still iconic. And there are parts of this movie, I was trying to cope and make it okay by having this Percy Jackson is a comedy, watching it through that prism. But it's also, my level of cope throughout the episode is there because I actually loved this movie growing up, and I was low-key, my comedy whole stage was just about trying to defend this. So yeah, it's just, I don't know what I'm trying to say with this intermission. I just guess that it's okay to be critical of things, but also appreciate them for what they are or the potential they could have had. It's fine, you can mourn what it could have been, and you can still like parts of whatever you are offered with an adaptation. So I'll just leave it with this. I hope everything you'll encounter further in media, whatever new adaptation we'll have coming our way, I hope you can view it from a place of, yeah, the books are a thing, but people have complete different interpretations of what is happening with characters. They have a completely different interpretations of who these characters are, and I hope you watch future adaptations through being curious about it. Let's try to be more curious about what other interpretations look like, other than the things that are on paper, because that's why we call them adaptations. You adapt things when they cannot be one-on-one with what's on page. Why is this movie like this? But Gaga plays, so everything is fine momentarily. Gaga plays when they're tripping, which is even more Gaga.
More Gaga, yeah.
Even more Gaga.
Girl poker face, you know.
And then I realized because they are high and because they are in Vegas, this movie just turned into The Hangover. There we are. Comedy proof number 1000. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, they make it like this in the movie, but in the book, it's very scary the way
This
they
is
portray the hotel as well.
This is just my coping. I'm just coping, people. Making this movie into a comedy is the way I cope.
Yeah, okay.
I just can't. Also, they are 12. How the fuck did they get into a casino?
It's a mythological casino. There are all the creatures, and the point is that they are gonna keep you there forever. I think.
I mean,
Yes, the idea is like a trap.
The
Time
lotus
passes different.
flower,
Yes.
they give them of course they
Also, in the
keeps
book,
them there.
there's this thing called mist, and you can use it on mortals, so they don't see clearly.
So yeah, more
or like glamours and shit.
Glamour, yeah, like that's why
Very cool.
if there's monster, you know, destroying the city, we see it as a storm or tornado or something.
Yes.
You know, the clouds are.
Oh, I'm into those
Unless you're like-
explorations that just make no fucking sense, but you're like, sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, Percy's mom sees through the mist. That's why that's why Poseidon, notices her. Like, oh, the mortal, and she can see shit over. I'm gonna hook up with her. Yeah. If you're, special, there's no explanation why some people can see through it, but like then when gods come after you, I suppose.
You know how Percy... Do you remember how Percy snaps out of it in the casino? Because Poseidon talks to him. And here I was just thinking, you know what, Papa Poseidon, you get some points. I didn't realize he was paying child support. So in our podcast, he already got some points. In my movie experience last night, he didn't. But here is where he gets the points. He handled this very good. Like his kid just did drugs and he's very calm. He's handling it very well. He's like, listen, Percy, you're high. You're gonna get through this. You just gotta, you gotta sober up, basically. You go, my boy. I'm like, you get 5 points.
No, in the book it was so... It was actually kind of fucked out because like Percy is playing whatever, some game, whatever, and there's this boy next to him, and the boy just drops this weird reference, and then Percy asking like, dude, what year it is,
That's actually, it's such a controversial thing to be your favorite thing in the movie, but I just felt if this movie was more on par with the book, because this clearly was out of place in this movie because it was so good. This subtle moment, I was like, subtlety exists in this movie, wow. This moment when he talks to a guy, he's dressed clearly, he's like a 70-ish outfit, you get a feeling that he's out of place. He's playing some game, but he's like, oh wow, cool game. And he's like, yeah, I love the movie just came out. And Percy's like, what? And I'm like, yeah, it's 1971 is the biggest movie out there. I'm like, what? So this guy has been there since 1971. Wow. And I could piece
they took something from the book actually.
And I could piece that together on my own, and I didn't need to be handheld and walked through the plot, and Annabeth didn't need to spit out vomit exposition to me to figure something out. Is this movie becoming good? No, it didn't. No. By the way, they wake up instantly after this moment. Subtlety died. Percy just goes, he's like, you gotta wake up, guys. They're like, okay. Woken up. Let's go. Just like the mother. Woman, we need to go.
We need to go. We need to leave now.
We need to leave now. Just like the moment with the mother. People eat tracks. This movie has symmetry, callbacks. It's perfectly fine. Just like the mother just hops in her Camaro SS 1968.
They hop into a different car, no?
They hop into a Maserati in the casino. They have no problem finding the keys, and there's also probably a full tank since the car starts and drives away, and they reach... by the way, they spent 5 days in that casino. Today is the day, tomorrow is the day. They have hours is the point.
It was weeks, if not months, that they were there, wasn't it?
They were there for a long time.
They were there for a very long time.
Like they had like a couple of days before like their deadline.
Yeah.
Like the summer.
It's the same feeling here. It just, of course, because we have just 14 days and 2 hours to cover 14 days, they're just like, oopsie, this 10 minutes in the casino, it was actually 5 days. I like that plot twist, but it's so rushed because of everything else in this movie. I was like, okay, so now we're just gonna drive this fucking Maserati that's been sitting for months in this casino. And by the way, I would like for Maserati to officially change their slogan. You know how Toyota is today, tomorrow, Toyota?
Yeah.
Maserati should be full tank, keys, Maserati.
Let's go.
There's like missed opportunity, huge missed
But I
opportunity.
think the whole shtick with the Maserati there is the fact that their logo is a trident, and because you know Percy, Poseidon, trident.
They go, of course, the fucking. You know how the entrance to Mount Olympus that Zeus explodes dramatically? The entrance to the underworld is next to the Hollywood sign, I think. Or you can just open a portal anywhere.
No,
Because
in the
there
book
is-
it's LA, but it's like some building
I
that's
yeah.
about to
the book
collapse or
goes,
something.
yeah.
It wasn't like a big historical building.
Yeah,
or
by the way,
anything.
if we still keep track of time, because what is time? So 5 days in the casino. Today is the day they have literal hours. The drive from Las Vegas to LA is 4 hours and a half. This is the only.
And they have the pearls. They
Believable
achieved
timeline.
the speed.
And they have the jetpack, of
Yeah.
course. It's fine. No,
It's
the-
flying car.
America is also shrinking, just like Westeros in the last season. It's fine, people. Moving on. The Hollywood sign has Greek graffiti on it. I was just like, at this point, I'm just gonna embrace it. Let's just fucking go.
You just had some Greeks, you know, just go
Ah.
down to Hollywood sign, paint it.
Yeah. Yeah, at this point I was like, I'm just gonna embrace it because when they were in Medusa's like greenhouse or whatever, there's a fountain and Annabeth just goes, Percy reaches for some cool looking coins and Annabeth goes, yeah, special coins. I mean,
drachmas, like the currency
Yes,
they had
drachmas,
in
yes.
ancient Greece.
drachmas. I was like, this is not random at all. Wow. But now we reach the Hollywood sign Greek graffiti. I was like, yes.
The
Hit me.
Hades dedicated his
Give
life
me
to
more.
aesthetics.
We reach hell. We've already discussed a very sexualized Persephone. Let's go into Hades, please. They try to give him this very Mick Jagger look, and people might think he's cool or whatever. I don't know who these people are because all I could see was Weird Al Yankovic. You're welcome. I literally ruined that actor and his whole work in Percy Jackson as Hades because I cannot unsee it. I literally thought it was Weird Al Yankovic on screen.
Fair enough.
Which makes
he's
sense with
also
the
giving
comic.
me. It was like, when was it? 2 years ago, Eurovision. One of the Bulgarians band. They didn't go through semifinals, but it was like dads in the 40s, you know, playing rock and trying to look hip.
Yeah.
Hades.
Oh God. Yeah. I mean, this is one of my last notes.
This is the big villain.
The whole yeah, apparently he is the big villain, and this is where I found out that Hades and Persephone took the big climax away from a character who is not in the movie, and I believe taking away
2 characters. completely.
I mean, I don't know because I read 2 sentences online. My problem with this movie, my biggest problem, is not everything we've covered so far. I tricked you. My biggest problem is why isn't Ares there? I've learned that Ares is actually the guy who orchestrated all of this lightning bolt shit.
Oh, he
They
didn't
also-
orchestrate it. He was like a pawn in a game.
They should have had a big showdown, which was in the movie just a showdown where Persephone fucking takes the lightning bolt away from Hades.
And then she sleeps with
And-
Grover.
Yes, that was also so fucking
Kids movie, but you
inappropriate.
have this scene, you know.
Yeah.
That was so fucking inappropriate as well. I was like, why?
Well, in the book, she was trying to convince him like to stay there with her, and he almost like stayed. I
No,
think,
she wasn't in the
he?
book.
And
No,
at
she
all.
was.
No, she-
Persephone.
Yeah, she was in the later books, not this one.
Oh, in this, yeah, but I mean, not in
Yeah.
the first one, but she did try in the later books to try to convince Grover to stay with her. I do remember this, I think, or I'm confusing it.
I think you're confusing. I
Could
don't
be.
remember.
Okay.
Yeah.
yeah, so here we are. Like they just took away Ares stuff. He doesn't even exist in the movie. They gave it to Persephone and Hades, and unsuccessfully. When Ares, apparently, the 2 sentences I read about this guy online is that he has a big showdown with Percy, and it should be
I'm
awesome.
gonna fight 12-year-old, you know.
And second, he's apparently this very cool biker dude.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you have Weird Al Yankovic versus a concept of Ares that is very cool, and you choose Weird Al.
Imagine somebody from Sons of Anarchy, you know, to play.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, but the whole thing is like the movie fell for this trap when you have Hades as a villain just because he's god of underworld.
Yeah.
But the whole point of the first book is that everybody thinks it's Hades. They go there, you know. That's
And
let's
it's
go
not
to
actually
underworld.
him.
Yeah, and he's like, dude, he has this helmet instead of lightning bolt or trident, And it got stolen as well, but he didn't tell anyone because he knew that his family wouldn't give a crap about his feelings. So he took Percy's mom because he felt it's a fucking insult that Poseidon broke the oath. So that was this whole thing. But he, then Percy's like, don't worry, uncle, I'm gonna give you your helmet back.
Wait, so what you're telling me is not so far, I mean, we've went off the rails with the plot of the book, but the train has just derailed, basically.
Yeah.
So this whole climax it doesn't exist
No,
in the book.
it's made up for the movie.
Yeah.
Well, I can understand why.
Because you have
Why-
the big papa of the gods, Kronos, the Titan. He's the one behind everything. He tells Ares to steal the shit, to...
I remember the Titans.
The whole big prophecy is they have the ultimate villain, like the Voldemort. That's Kronos for the Percy.
Yeah.
And he wants to be revived, and he's orchestrating his revival. He wants to come back to life.
I think that's a plot in the second movie, which is a complete mess.
Yeah.
We're very close to ending this movie, so the climax is completely different. I just spoiled it like an hour ago. Luke stole the fucking lightning bolt. They have a big showdown. They escape hell with the help of fucking Persephone. That explains like she just hits Hades with the bolt, and she's like, he's not gonna remember anything. Just go. I'm like, just go. What?
That's what the pearls are for.
Whatever, we have the big reveal. I will say the CGI on that rooftop scene where Percy fights Luke was cool. It was a very Aquaman, but it was cool. It looked fine. But also Percy has never done that before, and he is instantly good at anything he does.
Yeah.
But so, whatever, Percy defeats Luke. By the way, Luke should have been unalived on that roof because electrocution. I rest my case. So Luke is dead. Congrats. He isn't. He's in the second movie. He should have been. He should have stayed unalive. It's fine. But the mom escapes hell for one reason and one reason only. They take that elevator that you said was supposed to have funny music. I didn't even get funny music. Thank God for Gaga in the casino, but they missed an opportunity to play Gaga again. Motherfuckers. But they take that elevator, and the only one, I was like, okay, so she can take the elevator to Mount Olympus. And nobody needs to explode any door to get there, apparently. Fun fact. But then she's just there to be in the elevator, and again to not be able to cross that threshold into Mount Olympus. Why is she there? The only reason, so if we're counting, she's there in the forest just to, get kidnapped, and also not be able to pass the threshold into Camp Half-Blood, and then she's on Mount Olympus in the elevator again to just display that mortals cannot pass the threshold into Mount Olympus. Why did the movie think that was important information to me?
Yeah.
Now, we have, of course, they give back the lightning bolt. Poseidon gets to talk to...
Peace is restored.
Yeah, peace is restored, everything is fine. Just
We see all the gods, right?
Yes, Annabeth sees mommy, and
like in the book it's like Zeus and Poseidon. We don't like, it's so fun because we meet all the gods like throughout the series, like in each book there's like different god we meet, and it's so fun. That was what I was looking forward to.
Oh, here it's just like, it feels like big pre-war council. It's like the UN. They are trying they are completely useless. They are trying to figure something out. Someone speaks, you're like, who the fuck is that? Representative of who? Doesn't matter. But like, yeah, I felt nothing by the end, and I was just disappointed. And then the movie ends. But I like how it fucking ends. There's a post-credit scene where Medusa. Yes. By the way, 2010, Percy Jackson did a post-credit scene. Here we go, people.
Haven't got to that.
Yeah, you said. Here I am surprising you. This is lovely. I'm turning this car back around. So, the train is back on track.
Yeah,
Post-credit scene. Percy left the Medusa head in the fridge. It has a lock on it, and also a notice like, do not open this door under any circumstance. Mr. Agliano is being kicked out of the apartment by Mama Jackson, and he goes to he's like, oh, this crazy woman is throwing me out. I'm just gonna go grab my own beer. Man empowered, I guess. he sees the notice, he's like, Percy thinks he can tell me shit. He opens the fridge and then gets turned into stone by the Medusa head. I was
In
like,
the book, the mom kills him literally with the
that's
head.
Yeah.
people. That's literally the only good character arc in this movie. And judging by what Petra just said, that's all. I've also been robbed of a cool moment there.
Yeah, 'cause
I
she's
thought
like
the fridge thing was
Power
cool.
to the victim, you know, she kills the toxic guy.
Oh,
No
God.
redemption, she straight out kills him,
Yes.
and she sells the statue of him and she gets the money.
Lovely. So
Good
they
for
even
them.
fucked up Mr. Agliano's character arc. Love it. Beautiful. Now, you guys gotta walk me through a little bit of the showdown with Ares and Percy, because allegedly that's epic, and I didn't get to see that on screen.
Now you will see soon.
Hopefully.
Oh, hopefully. in
I
the
saw
series.
Oh,
a
if they-
picture from the trailer that like the showdown is about to happen.
Yeah.
Oh.
So here we are at the end of the movie. We're not gonna go into the second movie. I'm just gonna.
No, it has nothing to do with the books.
The
The
plot.
second movie is a mash of all books in one movie named after the second book.
Yeah. I mean, Georgi just summed it up perfectly. I made ChatGPT summarize the movie to me because I just remembered it being a fever dream, and just so if this
I remember
movie.
they use Light It Up, or what's the name of the song by Fallout Boy
Oh my.
in the intro. That's very cringe shit.
I went to watch because the first movie I saw it. I didn't see it in the cinema because I was not into the books when it came out.
Mm-hmm.
I watched the first movie later on, and I watched the second movie before I knew there was a movie about the books at all. When I went to watch the second movie, I felt like after I came out, I felt like I just burned my money. Like, that's
Yeah.
how it felt. It
No,
was.
the poster. And remember how I said Andre has never seen it? Andre just saw. We put it into Disney Plus. I was like, it must be there. Andre just saw the poster to the new series, to the first movie and second movie. He saw the poster to the second movie, and I was like, are we watching this one? Tell me we're not watching this one. I was like, oh no. That's the first one is questionable. The second one is complete utter nonsense. Just no.
Don't watch it. That's all you
Don't
need
watch
to know.
it. It's
No.
complete trash.
Especially if
ruins.
you're a fan of the books, don't do it to yourself. The only thing they improved was that Annabeth finally has blonde hair as she should in the books. So that's it. Yeah.
Now, based on everything we've discussed so far, is there a potential for a reboot? And is it required? Can they revive this franchise?
I think they can, because
We've been proved wrong twice this year with House of the Dragon and the Hunger Games.
also we have Avatar: The Last Airbender coming out, and if anyone watched the live action movie, they know it's trash.
So I'm not saying I don't have faith in this. I just have, after this whole episode, I have a little bit less faith in Hollywood trying to have another go at Percy Jackson. But I'm excited because clearly after experiencing the first movie and after everything you've said and mentioned about the character arcs and development, please let this plot breathe.
I think it's gonna be better.
give
I'm
my
not
four-
on the board with some casting choices.
Please make
Most
my
of them.
14 days months. Please make the training montage that never happened into a couple of episodes. Please.
I think like
I'm
the first
begging you.
book takes place in like, okay, you have the first time jump, you know, but after like his mom gets killed, it's like 3 months or something. So like I think that's like perfect time, you know, for everything.
I can realistically imagine a series, each book
Yeah.
being a season of 10 episodes.
Yeah,
1
I think
hour
that's
each.
what's gonna happen. Like this is like
Yes.
the first book. Is
So
the first
let's
season.
discuss potentially what could be the first season of the series.
No, but
Do you think it
No,
would be
it's
the
what
first
they
book?
are doing with Disney. Like the first season is first book.
Oh, so we know that's what
Yeah.
they're doing?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Me and Georgi, we just came into this discussion about his love for the books, how the movies suck, and I was like, this is perfect, you gotta come talk about it.
Yeah.
I'm happy about is that the kids are finally 12 or 13 or whatever, they are finally kids.
Age appropriate.
They are at least age appropriate. That's the least I was asking for. And then Lin-Manuel Miranda as Hermes, that's what I was telling Georgi about. I feel like he was so confused because he had no fucking idea what is happening, because he was like, wait, Hermes is not in the first movie at all. And I was like, he's not there. I was like, he is there. He's Lin-Manuel Miranda.
No.
He's like, what are you talking about? I was like, oh boy, I figured out you're not aware that a series is coming. And his whole face just lit up.
Yeah, I was so surprised.
I showed him the trailer, and I mean, I get it. He got the giddy up. Oh my god, something I loved in childhood is getting, like, something is getting woken up inside of me.
Yeah, it is. It is a franchise that, thanks to this series of books, I started reading books in general. Of course I started with like fantasy and stuff, and then later on when I grew up, started reading more serious books, non-fiction and stuff. But
this is what got you started.
This is what got me into reading. Because as a kid I was very impatient, very running around and doing a lot of things, and this was kind of the only thing besides my Legos that could sit me in one spot for hours. And I would wake up in the morning, and I remember I was reading the second book during summer vacation. I just wake up in the morning, I whip out the book, and I just read for 1, 2, 3 hours. And I still to this day, I'm a slow reader. I take my time. I would read for 1, 2, 3 hours, and just then. And at the time, I had a friend who was reading the books. We were reading the books together, and we would just go outside and just talk about what we've read. It was so nice. And it's such a shame now I don't remember the book so well. I mean, this conversation that we've had in the past hour or so has proved me how little I remember from the books. I remember like general.
Oh, you remembered enough. I'm so glad I kind of prepared by rewatching the movie, because I feel like the blatant differences you've commented
the whole
on.
quest is about pearls in the movie for some reason.
Oh yeah, I mean, you're welcome. Someone had to watch that trash.
I cannot go through that.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, so I feel like you've done very well remembering, and just because some things just sound so bad in your brain when I'm telling you what the movie is about, you're like, wait a fucking minute. This is not right. But yeah, Ares is apparently in the series, so I'm very excited.
Yeah,
I need this cool biker dude.
He looks decent. I have problem with some other girls. I mean, I have problem with Poseidon as well. I think he's also like ginger or has light hair. I've been saying with Percy, they are supposed to have fucking black hair. Just put wig on, for fuck's sake. Come on.
Yeah. You know who could have been, but back in the day he was also maybe too young to do that. I can imagine Timothy Chalamet as Percy.
Oh yeah,
when he was young.
A little bit, but he was too young. But it could have been, I don't know, he's 27 now, 26, isn't he? He could have fit into that. He would have.
The age inappropriate casting was like riddled throughout Hollywood. But the only reason I'm happy about this reboot is the age appropriate casting finally. And Georgi also made me aware that the kids, by the end of the series, they are 18-ish.
Yes.
So I think we will not get, unlike Stranger Things, where we're now complaining about the whiplash of the kids growing up, but let's not forget it was the plague, and production had to fucking stop for like 3 years. But with this, I feel like the kids have time to grow up into their roles, following the books, actually. If we go with the timeline of 1 season per year, I feel like it's gonna be pretty okay. And the kids have time to grow up into the role, and most importantly, if they do 1 book per season, these characters will also have time to be good characters.
Most definitely.
We will see. I think the writer himself is collaborating with the showrunners because he hates, he despises the movies. He tells people not to watch it. So I think, and he's pretty happy about the show, so let's see how it goes. I think they're gonna do a better job than
I just remembered we're gonna end up on this, and I'm so happy that the author is involved with Disney Plus, and I hope he's just as involved as Neil Gaiman and all his Good Omens, Sandman, all that. Because this is a quote from a letter that he wrote to the studio doing Percy Jackson, and the omission of Ares. I completely forgot I had this. But listen to what he had to say when they changed the whole climax, the Hades Persephone shit, instead of Ares as a character. He said, honestly, this is the best, most cinematic scene in the book. It's a crime to exclude it from the movie, and Ares is the most adult role in the story. I'm gonna end on this. If they do Ares and if the kids are age appropriate, I feel like we have great potential for something decent, more decent.
They're gonna do it. I know the scene will happen. There's a shot of Percy in the sea, and there's the actor playing Ares. Like we see his back. They're about to fight.
Oh,
So
I'm
it will happen.
excited. I'm very excited. Just give me the books. Give me something more book accurate, please.
Yeah.
And I'm not a stickler for book accuracy, but clearly whatever I watched yesterday is not the Percy Jackson book.
No.
Clearly. But anyway, that was loud. Anyway, thank you guys for listening. Thank you, Georgi, for being on our
Pleasure was
episode.
mine.
And yeah, guys, we're gonna follow up with whatever we find interesting. Honestly, we never stick to schedules.
Yeah, let's not.
Deal
Don't
with
give
it.
out false promises.
Yes.
Thank you, and Georgi, see you next
See you
time.
soon.
Oh,
Definitely.
love it.
Thank you.
See you soon.